Okay, so we've talked about step 0. Do you agree you don't have an integrated go-to-market strategy yet? Once you've agreed on that and you want to go take the steps, then the next step, bring everybody together and align on what are the 1 to 3 target verticals that we're going to go after. Once you've aligned on that, and you have to have marketing, sales, partnerships, ideally customer success, and the CEO plus any other member of the CEO suite that you want to be there. Once that's aligned, then you hand it over to the marketing team. I recommend product marketing. They go build the lists. Once you have a list of roughly 100, doesn't have to be quite that big, but roughly 100 contacts, then you have SDRs, AEs, enterprise review the list. Would they be stoked if those are the types of people that they were meeting with that are the correct ICP within the vertical? Now it's time to hand it over for marketing to go and create awareness. This is a really, really important step. A lot of people, they go in and they'll go in and say, okay, we've got this go-to-market strategy. And then sales does their thing, marketing does their thing. What I recommend is that you now hand it entirely to marketing and your demand gen team. Depending on the budget that you have and how much money you want to go in and put towards ads, retargeting within LinkedIn, Google Ads, Facebook, social, etc., you can go very cheap, which is what I'm going to recommend. You start with email and social only, and you have marketing reach out to campaigns targeting those exact individuals. It's an email that says, you've arrived. This is why you're going to go in and have an impact in this market. You're going to need to decide on the messaging, what matters to that vertical, and then let them go start reaching out to, it needs to be roughly 100 people per vertical, per rep that you want to be able to get these leads. And then what's going to happen is they're going to go out, they're going to reach out to those people. Then over the next month, they're going to do 4 different touches of both social and email. So they're going to be emailing once a week for 4 weeks. They're going to do social touch campaigns where they're going to go out and send a message to these individuals. There's lots of cool tools out there for LinkedIn like HeyReach that you can go try that make that easier. After 4 weeks, that individual has now done a few different things. Since you've used your data enrichment platform to get the lists, you can now go email and see, do they actually, are these indeed that person? When you go check them on LinkedIn, are they indeed that person? At the end of a month, anybody that didn't raise their hand and say they're interested will eventually get handed over to the sales team. We'll talk about that separately. But during the month, it is incredibly important that marketing takes ownership for 2 core things. 1, messaging that is compelling. That messaging should be aligned with product marketing, demand gen, the CEO, and the head of marketing. If that's 2 people, because the head of marketing is all of those things, and then the CEO working together, that's completely fine. But you go and you get that messaging out to them. Start warming them up. Word it in lots of different ways. Reference cool things that you've done. Reference industry trends. Reference what status quo is compared to what you bring. If there's news articles, awards that you've won, all those different things. The reason why it equally matters on social is there's a lot of people who are no longer reading their emails. They're having AI read their emails. And they've told the AI, screen out any sales messaging, unless it truly seems authentic to me. So you need to be thinking about your messaging. If the more generic it is, the more guaranteed it will be marked as either spam by Google filters or by the AI or the personal assistants of those that you're reaching out to. And so you're going to want to make sure that it's personalized, it actually fits with the target market that you're going after, and you're unique in that space. The social touch matters in validating this person is who they actually say they are according to the data enrichment. If you go, let's say, for example, you're trying to reach out to the director of sales at company Z, you send them an email, you think it's the right contact, but then on social media, they are vice president of sales at company A. You now know there's a mismatch. And so you need to go in and adjust the list and mark that person as a bad contact, potentially still keep reaching out to them. Maybe they're the right person, but you at least need to get your contact information. So what will happen is at the end of this, you're going to go in and see, does your messaging resonate? Because you're going to get some hand raisers. To help with that, I think a webinar invitation will really help you. So go in and say, hey, CEO is going to be speaking on this. We'd love to have you there. Have a webinar, have information, have invitations to see demos, have information to get all of that you need. Then on social media, you're reaching out to them for those that don't read their emails, but are still paying attention to LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, wherever your core contacts are. And then next, we're going to talk about now it gets handed over to sales after it's been warmed up and validated these are indeed the correct contacts.
Follow the show so you never miss an episode. And use the link in the description to book a meeting with Dan and talk about your revenue or hiring situation.